Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed live from Los Angeles. I'm Alex Curry here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you. I must admit, I missed you, and I gotta admit, that's a really cool new suit. But it doesn't even get in the same ballpark with these.
Boom! Fire!
Kawhi, way to go, Kawhi!
Fire!
You are the MVP, and you deserve to win the MVP. Now call these hospital shoes, my friend.
They still are.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get the signature shoe. You know, he got his first signature
Yeah,
shoe.
well, I'm good with I'm old school. I got the originals because I got the first pair hot off the presses. Here we go.
We'll talk about Kawhi a little later.
Yes, we are. I love it. Now, we have a packed show today. Was Aaron Gordon robbed in the dunk contest? And are the Patriots really done with Tom Brady? But first, we got to start with the NBA All-Star Game from last night. Team LeBron versus Team Giannis came down to the wire. The format for the game this year honored Kobe Bryant by having both teams play to 24 points more than the leading team heading into the fourth quarter. Team Giannis was ahead 133 to 124, so the winner would be the first team to reach 157 points. Team LeBron ended up fighting back to win 157 to 155 thanks to a game-winning free throw from Anthony Davis. So, Shannon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like the new fourth quarter format?
It was a 12.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it, Skip, because I don't think the NBA could have asked for anything better than what they got yesterday. We've never seen anything like this, Skip. When the last time you saw somebody take a charge at an All-Star game or somebody hit the floor for a loose ball in an All-Star game? You saw Giannis challenging shots at the rim. He blocked LeBron's fadeaway, came back, pinned. I thought it was a goaltender, but that's neither here nor there.
It was a goaltend. Completely agree. Goaltend.
But, Skip, you saw LeBron getting up into Giannis, knocking the ball off his knee. I'm like, hold on. This is what I'm like, is this an All-Star game or is this an NBA Finals game? Because they had that intensity in the fourth quarter. And I like the fact, Skip, you turn the shot clock off. This is the way we used to play ball and pickup. We go into 11, we go into 15, you got to win by 2, ain't no clock. You score, you go. Loved it. This is the intensity. And Skip, I liked everything about it. I like quarters. Okay, you win the quarter, you win $100,000 for your charity. And the scores accumulate, and whoever has the most points you got to score, get to 24 more than what you got. I loved everything about it, Skip. I love this. And I don't know if you noticed this, Skip, last night. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. Now, you got, obviously, I think you got one of the 2 or 3 greatest offensive players in the history of the game on the court. You got Kawhi Leonard, who's a Finals MVP, on the court. Chris Paul is an All-NBA player. But when the rubber needed to meet the roll, who had the ball in his hand at the end of the game? See, everybody talking about, whoa, it's not your turn.
The team captain. He's the guy who picked the team.
I know. I'm not going to let you do that, Skip Bayless. I'm not going to let you do that, Skip Bayless. I keep telling you, see, when you look at it, he's not clutch. He shies away from it. They said Kawhi got the rebound. He threw that thing to Bron. James Harden got the rebound. Take that thing, Bron, because I know you're going to do what's right. I know you're going to do what's right, Skip Bayless.
He's the captain.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No. At the end of the, Skip, we got to win this thing. You got to get to 157. That was the cutoff. 157 is what you had to get to. And they were down by 9. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when LeBron James checked back in the game, did you know Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning MVP, how many points did he have in the fourth? Oh, go James.
Oh.
Go James in the bro. And lock it down. Okay?
Well, if you keep Giannis from dunking, he's not going to score a point, right? Because all of his points came on dunks.
They did.
So
I love the All-Star game. I think they're on to something because we had never seen an intense ball game like this. Skip, we've never seen anything. Guys taking charges. I mean, you don't take charge at the All-Star game. You're not challenging guys at the rim as we saw Giannis and LeBron go at it. It was great. I loved it. They got it right. It's a 12 on a scale of 1 to 10. I loved everything about the game.
So, I will concur on one point, your overall point, which is I loved last night's fourth quarter. I have been watching and covering NBA All-Star games since the 1970s, and I'll go so far as to say the energy and the effort and the intensity in last night's fourth quarter was beyond some NBA Finals games I have covered. It was beyond even that, because something happened that created an incredible liftoff. Maybe it was just playing with Kobe's inspiration and spirit. I don't know. But something got into everybody on that floor last night in the fourth quarter that had nothing to do with the new format. So if you're asking me just to judge or score the new format, I'm going to give it a 1 because I did not love the new format. I think the new format was mutually exclusive and had nothing to do with what happened in last night's fourth quarter. In fact, I thought after a while it got in the way of what was happening in last night's fourth quarter. And by the way, I didn't actually put my watch on it, but I believe you could have played an entire NBA half in the time it took to play last night's fourth quarter. But it didn't matter because it was just great on great on great. Exactly. And it kept getting greater and greater all the way to the target score of 157.
Do you believe they would have got that had they had the clock?
Yes, because think about this. Help me out here. Okay. Maybe I'm off, but I'm trying to figure out why the new format that was actually suggested, according to Chris Paul, by Chris Paul to the commissioner, and it's called the Elam ending, and I'm going to get to it in just a moment, but it's the idea of no clock with the target score. Right. And because in honor of Kobe, they made it 24 points, that made the target after 3 quarters. Right. With Team Giannis up 133 to 124, you add 24, so it's 157 is the target score. Correct. So help me out. What did that have to do with inspiring everybody to play as hard as they did? Help me out, because they're mutually exclusive. They didn't go together. Because I got a fixed number. If a team gets to this number before I do, I lose. Okay. Because now, Skip, if we got a running clock and we played at the end of the game, so the score might be 160, might be 180. We don't know. But now we got a set number that I got to get to, or I got to keep them from getting to. Okay, I got a set number in every NBA game ever played. It's 0-0-0, which is the end of the clock, and everybody just plays to the clock. Okay, so Team LeBron was down 9 going into the fourth quarter. So help me out. Which team did we think was better after LeBron just bamboozled Giannis in all the picks? Or Giannis made himself look foolish. Thank you. Right? Yeah. Okay, so which team was better? Well, obviously, Team LeBron was way better. Yes. Okay, so if I put these 5 players on the floor, let's start with LeBron, AD, Kawhi, James Harden, and CP3, who, by the way, played the whole fourth quarter over Luka. Yeah. So they were saying, nope, Luka, you got to watch this one, because Luka doesn't play much, if any, defense. So they just said, no, we got to have CP3 on board because he knows how to pull this game out. So they're down 9, and for the most part in the fourth quarter, they go with those 5. And the other guys had to play Giannis and Embiid and Siakam and Kemba and Kyle Lowry. Right. Who's going to win that? Okay, who's got the advantage? Well, Skip, it was Giannis' fault that he picked 2 small guards. Okay, he did it, and you're stuck with it, and it comes down to a last play in which poor Kyle Lowry at 6 feet tall has to tackle Anthony Davis, who's, I don't know. 6'10 and a half. 6'10 and a half, whatever he is. He plays 7 feet. Okay, so help me out here. What if they had just let the clock run as usual, and all of a sudden Team LeBron had made a furious rally from down 9 at the end of the quarter, and it had come down to the final moments of the game, as it often does in the NBA? Right. What's the difference in that and the Elam ending that we played with last night? What we normally see, Skip, and what we normally got is that if you look at the first 3 quarters, you got 30, 40 dunks. But you look at that fourth quarter. Hey, I agree, but something happened, and you pinpointed the something. Yeah. Something happened that never happens in any All-Star game I've ever seen. One team captain elected to break the unwritten rule in the middle of the fourth quarter, and I'm talking about Giannis, and he goes out on LeBron and blocks his fadeaway. That is breaking all the rules. The rule is no defense. And LeBron's like, what? You want to do it like that? And LeBron goes to the other end, and he D's up Giannis, and Giannis loses the ball. And then everybody started D'ing up everybody. Right. And all of a sudden, it brought the referees into play like crazy. And the end of the game, to my eye, became an eyesore of fouling. And let me explain the Elam ending. The Elam ending was invented or suggested originally by a guy named Nick Elam, who was a Ball State professor, also a Mensa member, so he's high IQ. And his idea was to clean up the end of basketball games.
Right.
And it was, he believed that a timed fourth quarter leads to, I'm going to use his quote, an unnatural, predictable, drawn out, choppy, and sloppy style of play to end a basketball game. So his idea was at the 4-minute mark, set a target score by adding 7 or 8 points to the leading score at that point, and let's play to the target. And then shut the clock off. Well, help me out. Was last night not a choppy and sloppy ending? It was just foul after foul after foul. I've never seen anything quite like it. And by the way, quick note for you. Last night in the fourth quarter, 21 fouls were called, okay? That would be the 8th most in any NBA game played this whole year. So there have been 818 NBA games played. And if I do it times 4, that's 3,272 quarters of play. And this was the 8th most fouls called in any quarter this whole year.
In an All-Star game.
Okay, think about this. In an All-Star game, was it the Elam ending added to the lunacy of foul calls? It seemed like it to me.
Skip, I believe it was what happened is that we know we got a target. Now, this team is 9 points ahead of us, and they only got to get 24 to get that 157. Skip, they wanted to win. See, the thing is that sometimes when you get like the old Tar Heels, they stall you out. They go 4 corners and let the ball run out. Skip, they said, no. What we're going to do here is that we're going to play untimed quarter. And you got to get 24 extra points from whatever number that you have. Now, Skip, I don't know how fair that's going to be if I got 140 and you got 93. I don't really know. But I think it came into effect because the game was somewhat close. I don't really know if the Elam ending is going to have an effect, Skip, if I'm up by 30.
Okay, they were up by 9. What if they come out and hit 5 straight threes and all of a sudden they pull away and they get to 157 and the final score is 157 to 140? Will it be the same as getting blown out in a timed fourth?
But you see, something happened. At the 6-minute mark, there was a guy that checked in, and he was the reason why they chose number 2. They were down 6 points, Alex, and he checked in.
Everybody checked in. The whole 5 checked in. Yes, they did.
No, Kawhi checked in earlier. See, there you go, Skip. You don't want to give my guy
I thought everybody checked in at that point. Yes, they did.
No, my guy. Did you know, Skip, I don't know if you noticed this, but since they instituted this format where the leading vote getters from each conference get to be the captain and select the squad, do you know what my guy record is in this format? 3-0. Ain't been beat yet.
Well, he wins it during the selection process because he's up against Giannis, and Giannis has no idea how to pick all-stars, right?
Well, he beat the first year, Skip, he beat Steph Curry. The thing that happens is that if you get the first pick, you're screwed. Because guess what? Now, what's going to happen next year if LeBron is the leading vote getter and KD comes back healthy? Now he's in a conundrum.
Okay.
Because now KD is on the opposite side. So you know he's going to take AD, his teammate. Now Giannis gets KD. Now we got a different ball game because the first year LeBron got KD and then he turned around and got AD. But Skip, this ending, Skip, we never seen anything like this. This is not the All-Star game.
I got it, but something happened after the block Giannis on LeBron that it just lifted off into some region of competitiveness that looked like a pickup game that we were getting a bird's eye view of. It looked like a bunch of great players by themselves in the gym, and they got mad at each other in a good way. Good mad.
Well, that's what happens.
They're playing for pride.
You know what it is, Skip? It's a situation where the game gets close.
Yeah.
And now everybody's taking it serious. I'm trying to win. Oh, you mean to tell? Oh, it's 7. It's 5. No, it's 8. Wait a minute. It's a 1-point game, and they need 7, and we need 7. Uh-oh.
Okay, but it could have been 1 minute left, and the game is tied.
No, but Skip, we got that for a quarter. We ain't talking about no last minute. We got that for I don't know how long.
We actually got it for a half because it went on forever. That's why there were 21 fouls called, because it went on for so long, which is why I'm good next year just to go back the way it was, but play hard in the fourth quarter.
No, they're not gonna do that. No. We got to spray this out, Skip. But you think about it, and Giannis said at the end of the game, their strategy was go at anybody that James Harden is guarding. Whoever James Harden has, that's who we go.
And the opposite, they were going at anybody Kyle Lowry was stuck on because he's 6 feet tall.
So you were stuck. You either had Kimba, because they get him in the picture. You got Kimba on LeBron or Kawhi. So you couldn't be right. But I think Kyle Lowry started. When he started taking charges, Skip.
And plus, he was hacking everybody. He's running into people. He got one foul call late where he just ran across the lane and just runs over somebody. Well, he was playing football.
He forearm shivered AD because he had just gotten foul call. Skip, that was not a charging. because that was not a charge on James Harden. Kyle Lowry reached in to begin with.
I don't know. I would have called offense on that. He
Even on the
knocked
reach?
him out of the way.
Oh, even on the reach?
shot that he made that won the game.
Get out the ball game. That's supposed to be a ball game.
Yep. That might have cost
But you
Kawhi
saw
the
LeBron.
MVP. I don't know.
But you see what happened. LeBron has the ball, the high pick. He's like, I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna make the right play because that's what I do.
Wait, did LeBron make the right play late when he tried to win the game with like a 45? You like that? Was that a good shot to take?
We're up 4 points, so we know there was no damage that could be done if we missed that shot.
No, but that's for the game. Look at this.
Woo!
Look at that. He
Oh,
shoots it
logo
from
LeBron.
10 feet behind.
Oh, logo LeBron.
Did that go in?
It didn't go in.
No, I don't think it went in. Is that a good shot from your leader and playmaker and quarterback?
Don't do that.
That was a horrible shot.
No, don't do that.
What was he from 3 at the end of the game? Wasn't he like 2 for 10?
Look, we don't want to get into semantics of the ball game.
Oh, semantics. How about details?
How about this here? My guy in his charity got $400,000. That's what we got. And LeBron James is 3-0.
It's all about charity.
Yeah, that's what we do. We did it for the kids.
Always
we do it for
about
the kids.
charity. Yeah,
we do
doing
it for the kids.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people had issues with the game ending on a free throw. My man Nelly texted me immediately. He said, that's just wrong. And then I heard Embiid say it after the game, and I heard Siakam say, you can't end it on a free throw.
Yes, you can.
Well, if it were a timed fourth quarter, obviously a game can end on a free throw.
Right.
It felt like, because it was a pickup game in which no fouls were really called, except they were called.
Right.
That it felt like it should have just been side out of bounds. Just like, okay, your ball, it's a foul. You got to make a shot to win it.
Well, see, here's the thing, Skip. If it ended under my format where you got to win by 2, then two free throws win. You have to win by 2 points.
Okay, then you could do it that way.
Right.
And he would have had to make both of his free throws.
Wait, hold on. Have we not seen games end on a free throw?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We've seen the guy foul the guy with no time on the clock. He goes to the free throw line and make the free throws. Alex, I've seen that.
I've seen it, except I haven't seen LeBron do that.
No.
That's LeBron's
Skip, this is not the time.
Achilles heel.
This is not the time.
Well, it is the time, because what was LeBron doing on the floor after the foul got called on Lowry?
What was he doing?
He's up there going, it's over.
Yes.
It's over. Do we have that by chance? Do we have it's over? There's the foul.
It's over. Look at this.
There's the
Look
foul.
at that foul. Look at
I'm good with the foul. It's over.
He's
saying it's over.
It's over.
If LeBron had been walking to the line to shoot those free throws, LeBron would not have been saying it's over. He would not have been saying.
He said it was a wrap.
No, he would not have, because it would have been a wrap for Team Giannis at that point, because there's no way he could have made 1 or 2 free throws.
There you go, Skip.
And then Anthony said on the court right after the game that he actually missed the first one on purpose just to add to the
pressure. Yeah, because he knows he's going to be in games like this. The Western Conference is coming, the playoffs are coming.
I'm sorry, I'm not giving you that, and I don't think he said that straight-faced. I think that was facetious. I think he was laying it on a little thick, because he knows, and you know, he missed a big clutch free throw that should have been made on the first try, but was made on the second try.
Now, I mean, where's the drama in that? If I hit the first one, it's over. Where's the drama?
Yeah, so you think he missed the first one on purpose? We
can't have a movie where the hero dies in the beginning of the movie, but then the movie is done.
Really?
Yes!
So he said, let me just aim at the back iron.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard off the back iron, just to add to the drama, because I'm the new drama king in L.A.
Skip, you know this. You've been in this business for 40 years. You know it's about stories. I got to be able to tell one. I got to shape it. We got the Elam rule, Skip. It's come down to this. Team LeBron was down 9 entering the fourth quarter. And here we go. A foul on a great pass. But you see what LeBron did? No Kyle Lowry had the front arm hook. Passed it to the back arm. Got it. AD stepped to the line.
Well, the other problem I had with this whole fourth quarter was it forced the referees to become the stars of the game.
They were begging and crying.
I think they were having such a good time, the referees, because they had little to nothing to do for 3 and maybe a third quarter. And all of a sudden they're like, wait a second, you guys want us to decide the game? Yes, we want you to decide. We're going to make you decide.
I think when you go, Skip, it's like any All-Star game. You try, if you're official, you try to stay out of the way. You try to do as little as possible.
It should be the easiest night's work, because they just don't call fouls.
But then something happened.
And it happened.
The game got competitive. Skip, they begging. They are no. Go to the replay. Review it. Hold on. How you reviewing stuff in an All-Star game?
They reviewed 3 late calls, right?
They did. That lets you know that Skip, they own to something. They own to something. Now we ain't gonna not mention the 3-point. I like that 4-ball in the 3-point. You like that? It didn't break up the rhythm, Skip.
You know what? I'm going to give you this. You were right about this, because I thought it would disrupt. but they shoot that so easily that it just felt like another money ball to me. I thought it was going to be more of a push or a throw, but from 30 feet, they're flicking the wrist.
They shoot it just like a normal jumper now.
Right. I thought, especially Trae Young, I thought he was going to have to like push throw it, like heave it, like from half court, but it didn't look like that.
No, but Skip, this format, they're on to something. They're on to something. I like this. The guys played hard. I like the fact that they're playing for something every quarter. Because, Skip, I mean, normally when the guys...
I'll give you playing for every quarter. That's fine.
Yeah. They're playing for...
I think we need to do away with the Elam ending.
No. You got to keep that going. Yeah. And you can't, in the game, and the quarters can't enter the tie. You got to go first to make a half-court shot. Everybody line up, and the first team to make a half-court shot, that's the team that win the quarter, get the $100,000.
Well, Trae Young finally made one, right? He made one shot all night, and it was from half-court, so I'll give you that, because he's good for that.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, not so much.
Because Luka hit one the other night from half court.
He did.
In the Rising Stars Challenge.
And I must point out once again that Luka and Trae Young were the two voted starters who did not get to finish the game. One replaced by Chris Paul, the other by Kyle Lowry.
Skip,
down the stretch.
I understand you get voted in, and that's well and good.
Yeah.
But it comes to seniority when they're late in the ball game. That's what happens in the Pro Bowl. It comes late in the ball games, and those games got close. Those big guns were coming in because they're trying to win that money.
So LeBron James, if Luke is watching right now, LeBron completely disrespected you. LeBron said, I want CP3 in this lineup. He leaned over and whispered to Frank Vogel, I want CP3 on the floor.
Do you know that for certain? I'm
90% certain on that.
No.
Just knowing LeBron the way I do.
Why do you keep trying to turn players against LeBron?
I just know what happened. And conversely, on the other side, I don't know if it was Giannis. I don't know if it was...
you don't know? You don't know if it was Giannis now?
I don't know, but somebody said no to Trae Young because he deserved to finish the game. He's a starter.
Luka got an extra Luka got an extra $50,000 in his pocket because they won.
He did.
That he wasn't the guy, and the part of the charity that he was playing for got $400K to kids.
Yep.
They get computers, and now all of a sudden they get all these new textbooks and all that stuff.
Yep.
That's what this is about.
Well, the problem was, who was Trae Young going to guard? James Harden? Really? Chris Paul? I don't know.
He wasn't going to be any worse than Kemba Walker.
Well, I think he would have been a lot worse than Kemba Walker.
Okay, Trae Young is 5'11", Kemba is 6 foot. So you put Kawhi, you put LeBron.
One guy's got some natural strength to him, and the other guy's got none.
But look, Skip, why you don't want to give my man credit? You see with LeBron, who had the ball? I just want to know one thing. Who had the ball when the rubber needed to meet the road?
Well, who made the winning shots? Who made all the plays? Who made it happen?
Go James.
Go James did not.
Go.
Well, are you making the case he should have been MVP?
Look, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Well, Chris Paul, Cliff and Chris had an argument for it.
I think the new Chris Paul had a better chance of being MVP. You see the new Chris Paul?
I did.
Okay.
Well, I loved everything about last night. As you mentioned, it was messy, it was exciting. You could see the fans' excitement about it, and there was a buzz.
Yes.
There was a real buzz around last night, and I think that's what the fans needed and what the All-Star Game needed.
No mercy.
Saturday night, the dunk contest ended in controversy after it went to a dunk-off between Derrick Jones Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Jones took the title after the second tiebreaker, but that was a shock to the crowd and even the judges after Jordan jumped over 7'5" Taco Fall. One of the judges, hip-hop artist Common, said after that, quote, "We thought it was going to be tied, but somebody didn't do it right. I don't know who it is." So, Shannon, was Aaron Gordon robbed?
Robbed again. And I don't know what it is about Chicago, because I remember in 1988 another robbery took place.
I was there.
You were there. You probably was a judge too. Probably had something to do with that. But that's neither here nor down there.
No, it's here. It's here. We're going to talk about that. But go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Skip, Aaron Gordon was robbed again, and he said it after the game. I should have 2 of these trophies. Aaron Gordon has, in the dunk contest history, Aaron Gordon has 2 of the top 5 dunks ever. The one that he jumped over the mascot against Zach LaVine, Skip, and went under his legs and dunked it, Skip, he should have won. And when he brought Markelle Fultz out and he threw it off the side of the board and he caught it over, he took his shoes off. That should have been it. Skip, look, you said you should get 4 dunks. He's like, we came here to do 4 dunks. He did 4 dunks and got a 50. At the end of that, Skip, what you do is like a long jump competition. Skip, they don't keep jumping. What you do is you go back to the previous jump. And if you have the same distance on the previous jump, we go back all the way. Because in the beginning, I think Derrick Jones had a 46 or a 47. Aaron Gordon deserved to win this one, Skip. And at the end of the day, the man dunked over the tallest man in the NBA, Taco Fall. He dunked over him and got a 47? No, that ain't right. That is not right, and I don't blame him. He's like, I'm done. See what, Skip, what he should have had, see, if he'd have won this one, now you bring Zach LaVine back and you get Zion in this thing next year. Can you imagine the anticipation of that?
You mean we'd actually have a star in the dunk contest?
Skip, those days are over.
Interesting.
Skip, stop. I want you to stop this. I want you to stop this.
Yeah.
But you know, Aaron going, and I mean, look, I started the call, but I was in L.A. to report a robbery. There was a 6'9" light-skinned guy that got beat up by 5 judges. And it's ridiculous, Skip, and you know it.
I actually thought the 6'4" guy, who's not so light-skinned, he should have won it. And you
you're talking about the white guy?
No. I'm talking about Derrick Jones.
No.
Yeah. Here's the point. You can go back and look at my Twitter timeline because I thought at the end of what should have ended the dunk contest, then it went into overtime and then more overtime. The last dunks they did, Derrick Jones Jr.'s last dunk was better than Aaron Gordon's dunk. And I'm getting tired of Aaron Gordon just going up and taking the ball off somebody's neck and dunking it maybe through the legs.
Well, you're not tired of Derrick Jones going between his legs and windmilling?
Okay. I think he is a better power dunker than Aaron Gordon. I thought he was getting up higher, he was getting above the rim higher, and he was coming down with more force and fury than Aaron Gordon. And I know this is all beauty in the eye of the beholder, but again, he also, I thought, got robbed in a previous dunk contest. And on this one, I thought it should have been over after the last round. But the judges keep giving everybody 10s, and they keep backing themselves deeper and deeper into corners, and then they can't get out of the corner.
Right.
So when both, I'm sorry, Common and who else was on
Chadwick
there?
Boseman.
And also Candace Parker. I think Candace Parker and Common called out the other judges saying, somebody didn't go along with what we'd agreed on, except there were 3 somebodies.
But here's the thing.
There were 3 9s.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think one of those 9s was supposed to be in a 10, so therefore we got 48-48. I think they had agreed.
Oh, okay, maybe somebody was supposed to give a 10 and got mixed up.
Right.
Can we do by process of elimination who that might have been? I don't know.
It might have been the guy that played for that former team.
I don't know. Was it Black Panther? I don't know. Was it? I can't remember. I don't know. But the point was that I thought he had won it earlier, and I tweeted that. And then we get to the crescendo dunk of the night, which is Aaron Gordon over Taco Fall, and it was cool that it was unplanned and they had not rehearsed it. Right. He went and just literally picked him out of the crowd.
He said he wanted Shaq, but Shaq didn't want to do it.
Shaq was getting paid to do his whatever that's called, right? Okay, right? So Shaq didn't want to blow up his income on that, right? So the point was, on the Taco Fall dunk, Taco Fall leans forward and let him go over his head. He eliminated about a foot of head to let him go up over.
You gotta stop it, Skip.
No, he did. Well, look at him. He leans forward to let him go over the top.
Skip.
Okay, I'm not buying it because I don't even think that was a power jump by him. It was kind of like an easy, effortless jump to get over Taco Fall.
Hold on. Derrick Jones was dunking over people, and I get it that Gordon once dunked over Chance the Rapper. But it wasn't like, now, if Derrick Jones was pull Giannis out of there and dunked over him, because you remember, Skip, his first dunk over Bam, he pushed off with his hand to get up. This man ain't used no hand. That's just all God-given ability.
You don't think Taco Fall is leaning forward, giving him a foot of clearance?
No, even leaning forward.
Because Taco Fall was scared and didn't want to get hit in the back of the head.
Even if he's leaning forward. Okay, so we're going to subtract. You know what we're going to do, Skip?
That was a 9.
We're going to subtract 4 inches. So now, instead of jumping over a 7'5" guy, he jumps over a 7'1" guy. Come on, Skip.
It didn't look that impressive to me. No, to my eye test, Derrick Jones' dunks looked a lot more volatile to me, where he was just exploding.
And the Zach LaVine between the leg windmill, we saw it. Okay. Zach LaVine already did it.
Okay, well, the problem of today's dunk contest is that it's hard to come up with anything new.
But Skip.
I mean, Dwight Howard looked like a blast from the past, like he's going Superman, and it's like,
Yeah.
So, you know, we saw that a long time ago.
When Markelle Fultz, did you see how high he got up when Fultz pushed that ball off the side? And Skip, think about that. He has to catch it.
Okay, I do like the scoop in the it's like a hook dunk.
And then he went between his legs and reversed it with both hands.
Okay, but that was in overtime after I thought Derek had already won the contest. Yep.
He got robbed.
And it was just wrong to have Dwayne Wade on the one of the judges because he's a Miami Heat through and through.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, he can't be objective about this. So what are you doing? Which brings us back to Kenny Smith at the end of the competition is screaming about how there's another robbery in Chicago.
Yes!
I was deeply offended that Kenny Smith would have the audacity to put Michael Jeffrey Jordan in the same conversation with Aaron Gordon.
Robbery.
Aaron Gordon? Are you kidding me?
No, he put Dominique. He said Dominique was robbed.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that this happened in Chicago and Michael Jordan. And who, if you don't mind me asking, Skip, not only did he win the dunk contest, but what else did he win in that game?
MVP?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No, there's no coincidence that happened.
Well, it's because back in the day, they would come into a game and say, okay, it's your turn because this is your stadium. This is a Chicago stadium. This is where you're going to win the MVP. And I think it happened before the game last night. I think they all wanted LeBron to win it because it was the first Kobe Memorial MVP. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But the point was that in 1988, you did get a second try. You got one more. You got a second try if you missed the first one.
Right.
So Michael tries the free throw line liftoff dunk, and he didn't quite get there. And he's got one more. It's like Anthony Davis gets a second free throw.
Right.
Except this time, Michael took off from even beyond the free throw line, and he just sticks it right there all the way home and just wrist slams it in. And it's iconic. It's like all time.
It's the poster.
And it was over, and that was the end of that dunk. There was no robbery.
It shouldn't even got to that. Dominique was doing the thing, like you said, power. Now, you talk about power. Dominique head was above the rim with that old high top fade.
He was great. He was all-time great, but he wasn't greater than the greatest ever.
Robbery.
He just wasn't. It was not a robbery.
Aaron Gordon got robbed. Dominique got robbed.
I will give you this. I covered the one in 1986, which was in Dallas, Texas, and Spud Webb did rob Dominique.
No, he beat Dominique on that one.
Again, I'm a big Spud. He's a close friend of mine, and I was all into it. And given the fact that Spud's like 5'7",
yes,
the dunks he was pulling off with degree of difficulty, he should have beaten him.
Right.
But in the end, was Dominique better in the grand scheme of things? Yes, he was.
We had never seen a guy that small.
Okay,
First of all, when I heard Spud, I was like, what are you gonna do? He ain't finna dunk. And then all of a sudden, he bounces off the floor and he elevates. You're like, Dominique's like, but Dominique knew, Skip, because obviously they're Hawks teammates. So he's seen Spud in practice.
Yep.
He knows he can elevate.
Yep.
And then he's catching it, he's bouncing between his legs and catching it backwards.
Yep.
At that 5'7"?
Yep. Two-hand slammed, which brings me to one quick anecdote. I used to play basketball against Spud Webb at a little gym where mostly white guys played. And one night we were playing and Spud went baseline on me and I let him get to the baseline. He went up and under and slammed it two-handed. And it was the first time I believe anybody had ever dunked in that gym. And he turned to me and said, "You got cable?" This is 1984. I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "You can go home and watch that."
But Skip, look. Aaron Gordon got robbed. You can't get five. Skip, if I get straight A's, all class long, and how I'm going to fail the class? He got 50s, and he lost the dunk contest.
Okay,
Nobody's ever got that many 50s.
You agreed. Everybody just kept giving 10s, and you can't give 10s like that.
No.
You need objective judges, which is an oxymoron because they're not going to be objective.
Right.
So it's gotten a little out of hand because we have no new dunks, but unfortunately we have no new stars until Zion. If Zion will do it, it will bring it back to life.
If it's Skip, at some point in time, there was never any props. And now that seems to be the only way people are dunking now is with props. Because every dunk that's being done, someone has already done it. Either Dr. J, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Dominique. So it's hard. And that's why I said the creativity that's needed to be a great dunker. Now, guys can dunk on somebody in the game, but nobody's going to just let you just dunk on them in a Skip in a dunk contest. But for the creativity that Aaron Gordon, that he's coming up with, Derrick Jones was doing the same jump, Skip. He was going between his legs, windmill dunking. What did he do?
And Aaron Gordon was picking the ball off people's necks and dunking it.
And picking it off.
Yep.
Hey, Skip, he took it off Chance the Rapper, going one way and said, oh, I think I better do this, and dunked it back that way. Huh?
If only we had somebody besides Aaron Gordon. If only we had, I don't know, LeBron James. Could he do one? We'll talk about that later.
We're going to get that to later. But let's move on to the MVP. Kawhi Leonard led all players with 30 points last night on his way to winning the first ever Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP award. Kawhi admitted winning the award wasn't his goal coming into the game, but after hitting his first couple shots, he told himself he'd win the award. So, Skip, how big of a deal is this to Kawhi that he won it?
I think it was all-time huge, and I think a lot of people are missing this story because Kawhi isn't one to gush over anything.
Right.
So he didn't fuel the post-game story the way others would have fueled it. But I thought it was amazingly and eerily fitting that Kawhi won the first annual Memorial Kobe Bryant All-Star MVP Award because I can make a case that Kawhi was closer to Kobe than any current NBA player.
I agree with that.
It's a close call, and
Kyrie.
It's close, but I'm going to make the case. So the point was that Kawhi didn't have a lot to say about it, but if we could hear what he did say, he was trying to say a lot without going over the top with it.
To me, words can't even explain. Just making this the first Kobe Bryant MVP trophy. I want to thank Kobe for everything he done for me, all the long talks and workouts. Thank you. This one for him.
And as he said after the game, we had a relationship. And I know that's not gushing, but he meant it from the bottom of his heart.
Right.
Because I do believe Kobe became like a big brother to him. And this was first strongly pointed out to me the day we had Snoop on Undisputed at the Super Bowl. And he was driving home the point to me that he had talked to Kawhi and that Kawhi was really, really taking this hard, but he's not going to, display that on social media. He's not a big social media guy, or he's not going to display it in interviews.
He ain't no social media guy.
He's no social media. Well, I was going to say he didn't even have any social media. So the point is that he says he began reaching out to Kobe when he was early in his Spurs career, and that Kobe was responding back, and that Kobe became like a big brother to him in off seasons because they lived fairly near to each other south of LA. It's Newport Beach, and Kawhi's just a little south of there, but they were close enough that it was an easy 10-minute drive house to house, so they could work out together in the off seasons in ways that you normally couldn't because they were based so close together.
Right.
And then, as you know, fatefully, that it was Kobe who suggested to Kawhi, once he signed with an LA team, you use the same helicopter I use with the same pilot I use to get you from where you are way south of LA to Staples for home games. And so he had been doing that. I have no idea what he's doing now. I don't know if he reconsidered all that, but the point was that's how close they were up to this point. So look, it's very difficult to talk about this because I can't go inside a man's head or heart. It's so subjective how close you were. But I do think that a lot of fans decided that LeBron and Kobe were very close. And again, in that first post that LeBron posted, he talked about how, you're my big brother, He called him big brother. And I think he was way more of a big brother to Kawhi than Kobe was to LeBron because the age difference is 13 years to Kawhi and 6 years to LeBron. LeBron was his rival. But
I think early on, Skip, and you make some very, very, very interesting points. I think it meant a lot to him. And I think he said he didn't, coming into the game, Skip, that wasn't his idea to try to win the trophy. He said, I came in, made my first 2 shots, kept shooting, made more shots when I told myself, I'm going to try and get it. I think the thing is, Skip, because Kawhi is very closed off. He doesn't do a whole lot of talking. We don't know just how close he and Kobe was. Kobe, that's certain information you don't really pass along. Like when LeBron was going to work out with Olajuwon, we heard about it. He's working out with Olajuwon, getting his footwork right. And so when certain guys work out with certain players, but we really never heard about Kawhi reaching out to Kobe and training with him and doing this. And so it wasn't until, you hear Kawhi starts to talk, and you hear his voice, then you start to understand just what Kobe meant to him.
Okay.
Skip, you have to understand now, when they were winning titles, Kawhi was like 8, 9 years old. You hear Giannis say, Kobe Bryant to this generation is what Michael Jordan was to the last generation.
He was everything. I agree.
So now you're starting to see a LA kid growing up, my idol that I watched win championships. I reached out to him, he hit me back. Yeah, come on down, let's work out. Let me pick your brain. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. Let me see what you're thinking. That meant a lot to Kawhi. Kawhi doesn't strike me as a guy that's easily to get close to.
He's not.
Because he's very guarded. He keeps everything like, I don't really know who I can trust. And so in that aspect, he's like, let me reach out to Kobe. He reached out to Kobe, and guess what he did?
Kobe reached back.
You didn't hear anything.
Nope.
A lot of times people, such and such, we're going to work out this summer. He reached out to me. Kawhi is not like that. Kawhi, when Kawhi tells you something, he feels he's telling you this in confidentiality. So if he hear, only 2 people know about it, me and the person that I told. Now, if I hear it from somebody else, I didn't tell anybody, so where must it have come from?
Interesting.
Probably the same thing happened with the Lakers. He's like, I ain't telling nobody I was talking to the Lakers. It came from somewhere. It didn't come from me. So where it come from? So it tell you see how he was bottled up, Skip. And I think him winning that award means more to him than anybody else winning that award. Yeah, LeBron could have won it. It would have been a great gesture. Laker, AD winning in his hometown.
I think that's what most people wanted to happen and expected to happen.
But I don't think LeBron approached it like that, Skip. I don't think he came out because I thought AD was going to come out and be more aggressive than what he was. Consider he's a kid, south side of Chicago. Normally what happens, that's your hometown. You go get the award. Like Jordan, obviously Jordan played for the Bulls. It's in Chicago, yada, yada, yada. We get it. Another situation, Skip, I don't know if you probably were there in 92 when it was in Orlando. Magic had announced earlier he had tested positive for HIV. He came back and won the MVP in that game. And so he went in the... But I think Kawhi winning that award, the first annual Kobe Bryant All-Star Game MVP award, I think that award meant more to Kawhi than it would have meant to any other player winning that award.
And I could have made the case that the spirit of Kobe propelled Kawhi last night, and if it had been anybody else who was more open about it, that it would have been the whole theme of the night. The whole storyline would have been, oh, so-and-so is being propelled by Kobe's spirit to win the first Kobe Memorial All-Star MVP award.
Because Kawhi is the guy, Skip, that hasn't really talked about his relationship with Kobe until he was prompted last night, and the reporter was asking him. He said, well, Kobe meant a lot to me. The conversations that we had, the workouts that we had. So Kawhi has not done a whole lot, hasn't done a whole lot of talking about his relationship with Kobe. So the media, we haven't driven the story with, man, they were really close, yada, yada, yada. And I don't really think, he went and got the award without us seeing, Skip, we see some guys try to win that award. We see it. But Kawhi let it happen in the Florida game. Hit a 3, and then another 3. And he was shooting the 3 like he was Klay Thompson because the ball was barely touching his hands, and he was letting it go and swishing nothing but net.
True.
So he got the award without really trying to get the award. Only he knew, man, I'm going to try to get this thing, man. I got it going really good.
So what do I always say about LeBron James? Highest IQ in all of basketball, and I can make a case he has the highest IQ in the history of. Magic could be up there, maybe Stockton, I don't know. Jason Kidd, we can talk. But LeBron is near the top, if not at the top of the list. He also has the highest off-court marketing IQ ever in the history of sports. I believe he's the guy. And he got social media before anybody got it, and he dominates on social media. So he owned the Kobe story from the start. It was a couple days after Kobe passed. And he posted on IG, remember, he said, man, I love you, big bro. I promise you I'll continue your legacy. It's my responsibility to put this, on my back and keep it going. And I think most people would leap to the conclusion, you guys were like that. Well, it really wasn't, by all accounts, until the last couple of weeks of Kobe's life that he and LeBron started to thaw out a little bit from being arch rivals because Kobe had become the ambassador to all of basketball, even as an ex-Laker. And remember, Kobe was blessing LeBron to pass him on the all-time points list,
Because something started happening. Kobe started showing up to games. And then you could see he and LeBron start interacting on the sideline. Kobe was there with his daughter, and he and LeBron was interacting. I think everybody was waiting for Kobe to give the blessing. It's okay for you guys to embrace it.
It's okay, and he did bless him, and it was huge, and thank you, God, for that, because it left a great legacy for LeBron, because for a while, L.A., as you would know, being from L.A., there are a lot of Laker fans who were like arm's length from LeBron. Like, you got to prove it to. You got to go win a chip first.
Skip, Magic tells the story that he and Bird, because they had competed, the national championship is still the most watched national title game in the history. They came in as adversaries, so they came in. One went to the west, the other to the east. Rivals, Boston, L.A. So one of these guys was going to win the title. It wasn't until they shot the commercial that they realized, man, we got more in common than we previously thought.
Converse,
right, the weapons.
Kobe,
I think, I don't really know. LeBron, obviously, Skip, it's hard to go. I mean, LeBron and KD worked out together. So I don't really know if LeBron and Kobe ever worked out together. But it's hard, Skip, when I'm competing against you to try to come pick your brain, and then everything, we're going to be buddy-buddy. Now, they became friends, but I don't know how much Magic and Larry worked out together. We could be friends, Skip, and then once LeBron got to L.A., and probably he started conversing with Kobe and talking to basketball, they realized that they had more in common than they previously thought. The games are totally different now, but we do have a lot in common. Our love of the game. Now, we look at, is that Kobe got that Michael Jordan, that killer mentality. Magic would kill you with a smile. Jordan and Kobe, ain't no smiling. I got no smiles for you, bro.
No. So in the end, I remind you what Doc Rivers said. We were at the Super Bowl, so we're going back a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Remember, he made the point a couple of days after Kobe passed that, hey, we can also pay tribute to Kobe by going and winning this year's championship.
Right.
He wanted to make the point, it's not just a Lakers story, it can be our story too, because we have Jerry West on our side now, and Jerry West was clearly like a father to Kobe Bryant.
He was as torn up as anybody.
Right. Okay, so you got like a little brother, Kawhi, and like a father, Jerry West. So they're saying, well, wait a second, you can't, we share this building with you, but you can't own it just because you're the team in LA. Right?
Yeah, you're not going to be the only one that you're not going to hijack Kobe's legacy and memory and says, okay, we're going to use that. We're going to use it too. Because we've seen guys, Skip, that we don't expect to play, and they're like getting 50 points. You're like, where did that come from? And it's like, it's Kobe, Mamba mentality. But it's Kawhi, like I said, I mean, Skip, for me, if they'd have given it to Chris Paul, I wouldn't have fought. Because Chris Paul got 9 points in the fourth quarter.
He did.
And he hit some big threes.
Well, he hit 7 threes to Kawhi's 8 threes, and we could go back and forth about the rest of the stats. But I will make this case again. I believe LeBron, high IQ, knew in the end, and I showed you that shot before, he took that like 40-foot shot. That was to win the game. And I got to tell you, if that had gone in, if this shot goes in, I believe LeBron's the MVP, even though his numbers weren't great. But that would have done it. That would have brought the house down.
It would have. That would have been great.
That would have been in Michael Jordan's house, right? That he makes a last-second 38-foot shot or whatever it was. It was a bomb, man.
Yeah.
And it was a good idea. It just had to go in.
I mean, they ain't like the one he hit against the Warrior. You remember he hit that one against the Warrior a couple of weeks ago. We was off. We didn't come back.
It was the
No.
Not the they're the worst team in basketball.
But then we're going to talk about this a little later, that one he hit against the old Nuggets.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk a whole lot about what he didn't do against the Nuggets. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
No mercy.
While Tom Brady is still seeking out his next contract, one former teammate believes it won't be in New England. Christian Fourier said last week that the Patriots are, quote, 100% done with Brady. Shannon, do you believe that the Patriots are done with Brady?
I believe they've both come to a decision that it's best for them to part ways. I think this has been a long time coming. I think Brady feels he's been disrespected, especially over the last 3 to 4 years, Skip, with the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Brady, I think Brady has always given them money, but at some point in time, Brady wished they had come to him and said, you know what, Brady, you've been so great with us, we're going to get the money from somewhere else.
Yep.
And I think Tom has become, because I don't know what to believe, Skip, as far as he wants max money, he wants $35, $40 million. I don't know what's true. And if that's true, maybe he's become resentful because he's seen how much he's done. And even in the process, Skip, of me giving you all this money back, me allowing you maximum cap space, me taking half of what I should actually get, you actually wanted to move on with me for another guy. Mm-hmm. And the Patriots are looking at it. Coach Belichick has done a great job of this, of not falling in love with anybody, just dating. Nobody got a key to the house. He's like, hey, that way you don't have to worry about getting, locks changed or anything like that, taking the key back, Alex.
Yep.
So Coach Belichick says, okay, yeah, you're Tom Brady, but I don't see the Tom Brady that can elevate, because the term was coined, nobody does more with less for Tom Brady. Because he took guys that are former quarterbacks, guys that were undrafted, guys that were just ho-hum guys, and he turned them into great players in that system. Now that he can't do that, Coach Belichick says, well, if you can't elevate the guys that we not be drafting a whole lot of first rounders. Remember last year, Skip, N'Keal Harry was his first rounder that he drafted in New England.
New England. As a receiver.
Every receiver. He's like, we're not doing that. We might get we might take an offensive lineman, a defensive player, but we're not doing that. And they're looking at, well, Brady's looking at like, y'all been very disrespectful. Coach Belichick, Patriots says, well, you can't elevate, something needs to give. You want max money, you can't amplify this team. Because, Skip, when you look at it, you look at the guys that went far in the playoffs, what can those guys do? All of them can make plays outside of the pocket. And what can Tom Brady do? Make plays outside of the pocket. Now, he can, that phone booth, he can go side to side. But once you force him outside that tackle box, Skip, he's a different player. And now the guys have gotten so talented. You look at Russ, you look at Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. All those guys can make plays outside of the pocket, be it legs or with their arm. I do believe, Skip, that they've come to an agreement. I don't know if it's 100% they're done with Tom. I don't know if it's 100% Tom is done with them. But I think they're coming to the realization that, you know what, the best thing for us to do is just move in our separate ways.
Maybe. So, back to Christian Fourier, who spoke this quote on his radio show in Boston. I know Christian very well. I did a college football prediction show with him for a whole year on ESPN, so I got to know him very well. And when he speaks about Tom Brady or the New England Patriots, I listen. Yet it is still hard for me to believe that Robert Kraft is completely done with Tom Brady. It's just hard.
That's the 100%. That's what I'm having a hard time getting at, the 100%.
Okay, I get
85, 90.
I get Belichick.
Yes, yeah.
I get Brady being done with Belichick. I just don't get Robert Kraft saying, I'm done with you, Tom. We don't want you back.
Right.
I don't think he wants that blood, so to speak, on his hands for the long term, on his legacy. And I believe Tom has done him so well, so often, and has taken so many hometown discounts that he's going to ride it out, that he would give him whatever deal he wants for the next 2 years to end it in New England. Because, as you know, these stories are much better when he ends where he started, right?
Correct. Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. Joe Montana didn't end where he started, obviously ended in Kansas City as opposed to San Francisco. But in this case... But
it would be a great story, Skip, if he went somewhere else and won a title.
Okay, it'd be a great story. And Tom knows it would really be great for his legacy versus Belichick.
Correct.
We talked about that.
It'd be over,
Okay?
Skip.
All right, it would be over. So to me, Tom Brady does not want to maximize his financial compensation. Like that. That's not, come on, really? I mean, is pride talking that loudly to him? But he does want to maximize his ability to win another championship. And I'm just not sure, the harder I look at what Belichick has left on his roster, I don't see how that's maximizing his chances to win.
Right, I agree.
So, to your point, you need to be able to move outside the pocket if you're going to win with what they have left in New England.
Yes.
Because you better be able to make your own plays with your legs as well as your arm. So, to me, I look at what is Belichick thinking? Would he still lean toward Brady just because? What's the alternative? Is it Jared Stidham, really? The guy who got yanked from a preseason game because he threw an interception late? Really? I don't see that.
Andy Dalton, Phillip Rivers.
Okay. Cam, maybe? Would Cam be available? That might be the best alternative, unless there was some scenario by which The San Francisco 49ers said, you know what? We would have a little better chance to win one or both of the next 2 Super Bowls with Tom Brady instead of Jimmy G. And they just reversed places.
So trade Jimmy G back.
Yeah. So
for a
Jimmy
second
G
round.
would go back to where it was supposed to be 2 years ago, right? Now going on 3 years ago when Belichick clearly wanted to go forward with Jimmy G. So you let Belichick have what he originally wanted, and Tom finishes out where he grew up in San Mateo. He's as a 49er fan and a big Montana fan. He was at the Catch game in early 1982, January of 82. So it would be a beautiful end for both, but that would be given the fact that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan said, we're going to cut bait with Jimmy G. Well, we saw Kyle effectively cut bait psychologically with Jimmy G in several key instances, like at the end of the half in the Super Bowl. Right. He just said, I don't want him to have a shot here, right? I don't want to put the ball in his hands. And it looked like there were too many times until the fourth quarter when he didn't want the ball.
Right.
Obviously through, 8 passes against
Green Bay.
Okay? So that's a possibility. And I still say the LA Chargers are the perfect fit for Tom Brady because they are moving into a beautiful new,
billion,
$3.5 billion stadium. You know it well.
Oh, yeah.
And
flew over it last night.
And did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
It's looking beautiful.
It's looking beautiful, and it's supposed to be ready for this July.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here we go. And do you not need a marquee name to sell that product?
Skip, for me, and we go back and forth. Is it the Raiders? Because you hear reports that the Raiders are prepared to offer Tom Brady $60 million over 2 years, and we hear the Chargers. But for me, I believe the best place that will give Tom Brady the best chance to win would be the Colts. They have $85 million in cap space. I believe they have the best offensive line in football. They got a nice running game, Skip. They got the ability to add a piece and go out and get defensive help that Tom Brady would need because, look, at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says, you still got to stop somebody. Even when you got Tom Brady, and look, when the Broncos got Peyton Manning, it wasn't until they had a lights-out defense that they ultimately got to and won the Super Bowl when they had Vaughn and D. Ware and Wolf and all those guys, Talib and Harris Jr. I believe with Skip, $85 million with Tom Brady, that offensive line, those 2 running backs.
Okay. My problem with that is Tom Brady does not seem like an Indianapolis kind of guy. And definitely Tom and Giselle do not seem like an Indianapolis kind of couple to me. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean he the Marbury man. I mean, don't even strike you the type of Wrangler jeans and,
I don't know.
That on straight low. Okay.
Plus, does he really want to sort of step into Peyton's shadow? I don't know.
Well, look, you trying to win a title. You don't care. I mean, Peyton stepped into John Elway's. Now, Elway had retired years ago. Look, I'm trying to win a title. I think if I'm Peyton Manning, I'm looking down when I do my research, when I do my due diligence. What is the quickest? I'm gonna say a year, 2. I agree with you. Tops, 2 years tops. And I'm looking at everything, Skip. I'm looking at organizational hype because now you do know because when Peyton came, they turned it over to him. Peyton, your offense, you call whatever. Okay, who's gonna turn what over to me? Okay, this is what I need. Can you go get this? I need a Jack Doyle. That looks like they've moved on from Eric Ebron in Indy. Jack Doyle is a nice tight end. Okay, you got T.Y. Hilton. You got some other.
Oh, I got it. If you're doing X's and O's, it's a great fit.
Yes,
I got it.
And $85 million in cap, which is the second most.
Okay, all right, I got all that, but it's still if you could take them and move them to Dallas, Texas, which brings me, by the way, to the Dallas Cowboys.
There you go.
And I'm going to throw it out there one more time. If this thing continues to turn as ugly between Dak and Jerry as it appears to be turning. If it's just a stalemate of an impasse of a conundrum where it's just not going to work, where Dak says you got to give me this because the cap eventually is going to go there, and Jerry says that's just too rich for my blood, I would be just fine with my Dallas Cowboys saying, Tom Brady, come on down.
Oh, really?
2 years.
Over that?
Yep.
Over that?
That would be a crazy
Over that?
They'd have to cut bait with Dak.
You want to cut bait with Dak?
Well, if he's asking for an unrealistic amount of money.
Everything is unrealistic. You know where the cap's going.
Yep.
The cap has gone up 40% in the last 5 years, Skip Bayless. So you believe it's going to come down or go up in the next 5 years?
So my partner, Shannon Sharpe, wants my quarterback, Dak Prescott, to make $40 million, even though he often gave him F's for his performance last year.
Skip, I don't really care about the overall number. And I don't think Dak really cares about the overall number. Dak said, I need 120 guaranteed.
Okay, fine.
Can you get that for me?
Well, can he get it somewhere else? Because I don't think he can get it somewhere else.
Well, don't worry about this. No, I don't worry about what I can get out there. I'm talking about, can you give it to me? Then I'll worry about, once you don't give it to me, I'll worry about what I get out of it. Because guess what, Skip Bayless? I'd rather go out there with somebody that appreciate me. I'm going to take less money, but I'm not taking it from you. You know what I'm saying, Skip? I'll put up with a lot of stuff.
Okay.
You know, Skip, Alex, I know I talk a lot about relationships. And sometimes in a relationship, you like fed up. I'll put up some stuff. I'll put up some bickering. I'll put up with some yelling and screaming, talking about me coming in. But I ain't gonna put up with it from you. I'll put up with it from Sue after I get into another relationship with Sue, but I ain't putting up with it from you. Dak Prescott say, Jerry Jones, I might take less money, but I ain't taking it from you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Factor in your relationship. Okay, I got it. So the point is, do I love Dak Prescott? Yes, I do. Do I love Tom Brady right here, right now, a little more than Dak Prescott? You better believe I do.
You
know I do.
You out your mind.
Oh, stop
You
it.
out your mind.
Well, I just
Give
do.
me that. Give me that.
Would Tom Brady give my Dallas Cowboys a little better chance of winning Super Bowls the next 2 years? You better believe
And
it.
Dak. Yeah.
I'm going.
I'm taking Dak.
This is a win now league. You're taking Dak because you don't believe in Dak.
I do believe in Dak, but I believe in Dak. I believe Dak last year and moving forward is better than Tom.
Just tell me, how big a story would it be if Tom Brady had that star on his helmet?
Huge.
Would we not move the show to Dallas permanently? We just might.
Yeah, we
might. We just camp out the star.
I
That's what we do it.
We do at least 5 shows in football season from Dallas.
And no matter where Tom Brady ends up, it's going to be so much fun. This Brady watch coming down to the wire.
We might do the first. We might do the first show as soon as he signs. We might be wherever he signs.
I love it.
No mercy.
Team LeBron versus Team Giannis came down to the wire. The format for the game this year honored Kobe Bryant by having both teams play to 24 points more than the leading team heading into the fourth quarter. Team Giannis was ahead 133 to 124, so the winner would be the first team to reach 157 points. Team LeBron ended up fighting back to win 157 to 155 thanks to a game-winning free throw from Anthony Davis. And we are now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Steven Jackson.
And by the way, I got to congratulate Steven Jackson on the podcast he does with Matt Barnes, because a couple of weeks ago, they got Kevin Durant to admit he still has a burner account. Am I right?
Yes, he do.
How did you do that? You pulled that right out of it.
Man, I think guys are just comfortable because these are conversations we have off camera. So it's easy to have these conversations. And we know how to disagree with people, but the respect stay the same.
Right.
And that's any show, if you can show the respect and disagree at the same time, then people don't mind coming on.
Way to go.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It means a lot from y'all.
Now, Steven, looking back at the All-Star game last night, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that fourth quarter?
9.9. The only thing I want to change is you can't win on the free throw.
Yep.
Everything Chris Paul changed and got them to change was awesome. Everything they got to change. I think the competition in the fourth quarter was what everybody wanted to see. And to me, it kind of looked like LeBron had it in his mind to compete from the first quarter. You know what I mean? I think those guys, with everything that's going on with the Kobe Memorial and all, I think everybody wanted to come and play hard for Kobe. But a lot of those guys wish they could have played hard for 4 quarters, and it looked like it. Even Kawhi, he came out real hot. They came out in game form. But I like everything about the All-Star game. I just don't want them to win on the free throw.
So let me ask you a question. You get fouled at the end of the game. There's no time on the clock. Game's tied. What happened?
The guy that fouled and the guy that got fouled go one-on-one.
No. I'm saying the regular game.
In the real game.
In the real game.
A real game.
Yeah.
It's a free throw.
Okay.
Right.
So you win.
Right.
So yeah, that's what happens. In field goal, right, Skip? In the All-Star game, it's a play. For me, I loved it. I thought it was a 12 because you had competition, because you're playing for a charity. You win the quarter, you win $100,000 for your charity. You don't win, you tie that quarter, because I didn't know what was going to happen in the third quarter. I thought it was like, well, how do we determine it? Because the third quarter ended in a tie, 41-41. Right. They say, we're going to roll it over. So now, all of a sudden, $100,000 now becomes, you win the game, it's $300,000.
Right.
When have you ever seen somebody take a charge at an All-Star game?
I loved it. Kyle Lowry took 3.
Kyle Lowry taking charges. AD got a blocking foul on a illegal screen against Kyle Lowry. Giannis challenging shots at the rim. You ain't blocking nobody's shot.
He went and got that.
And then LeBron says, okay, that's what you want to do? Is that how you want to do it? Okay, let me sit in this chair.
Yeah.
I'm going to knock it off your knee. We're going to go back the other way.
Yes, sir.
You saw the competition. It seems like, and I love the fact, because a lot of times, the games, your fourth quarter, it's a running clock. Stack, these guys go up and down, they just dunk it left and right. All that dunking stuff, they cut that out.
Yep.
Nah, you ain't getting no easy baskets. No easy baskets. I think what the All-Star game is everything Adam Silver. The thing I think the players love so much about it, he listens. Yeah. LeBron James said, you know what, we should be at 2-24. Chris Paul says, let's come up with this rule where we're going to have no running clock. Turn the clock off. You got to win, 24. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the athletes competed at the ultimate high. I've never seen them taking a charge at an All-Star game.
But you got to give some of that credit for Silver to David Stern. Because rest in peace, David Stern. David Stern kind of molded him and gave him the game.
Yeah.
So and it let him know, because David Stern, even though he suspended me for 30 games, I had a great relationship with David Stern. When I was releasing music, he called me and told me the good and bad sides of it. So I think him having a relationship with David Stern is helping him relate to the players and listen to them more.
Okay. I'll give you your 12 for just the watchability of the fourth quarter, because it was all-time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I've been watching or covering All-Star games since the 1970s, and I have never seen a quarter played like that, remotely played like that in an All-Star game, to the point that I told Shannon earlier, I've covered NBA Finals games that weren't as competitive as the fourth quarter last night was. Just some Game 4, when it was 2-1, where it just never lifted off.
Right.
But I'm having a hard time crediting the new format with the competitiveness, because I think they're mutually exclusive. I don't think one led to the other. You could be right. Yeah. I didn't get it, because the same thing could have happened if you had your basic rules of the running clock.
Right.
Because Team Giannis was up 9 at the end of the third quarter.
Right.
So it's 133 to 124. Mm-hmm. So they decide, let's take Kobe's number, great, 24, and let's add it onto the winner's total coming out of the third quarter, and we'll say that's the target number by what's called this Elam ending system that Chris Paul suggested to the commissioner.
Right.
Okay, so what if it had just been straight basketball with a running clock? LeBron's team was way better than Giannis's team. Mm-hmm. So the fact that LeBron's team went on a 21-11 run down the stretch to finally prevail is a shock to nobody, because they're just better, because Giannis is not a very good picker.
They had all the closers.
They had all the closers.
Yeah,
they had everybody on their team.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so why would we credit the format with inspiring the competitiveness, which, to your point, we've never seen anything like it before?
I don't believe if you don't have that fixed number, I don't believe the guys play that way that soon. It seemed like the intensity ratcheted up. Now, obviously, because the game, like you said, the game was only 9 points. Skip you down by 30, you can be going to 24, you can be going to 44. I don't know how you get back into the ball game. But because it's like, look, man, they got 133 already. They only need 24 points to win this thing.
No, but it's still just basketball. They get the ball back. It's not make it, take it.
No.
Like if you score, they get the ball, and they can go score just like in a running clock.
But I believe they play it out, and if the game ever gets closer to like the last 2 minutes, but we saw the intensity from the jump. The minute the fourth quarter started, we saw guys playing like this game meant something
I
to them.
thought it was jump-started. It was fire-started, because Giannis broke the unwritten rule. At one point, Giannis goes out on LeBron and blocks his fadeaway. and it's like, LeBron looked at him like, oh, it's going to be like that?
Yeah,
and LeBron goes to the other end, and he just D's up Giannis, and he loses the ball, and here we win. And all of a sudden, Kyle Lowry is flying all over the floor playing football.
Right, a couple of charges.
Okay? And he's hacking people and running into people and getting off-ball foul calls. I'd never seen anything like it. And it was a blast to watch, but I'm not sure that the format did it. I just think Giannis accidentally it was like a flashpoint.
He only knows one speed.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Skip. Let's just say for a football game, the fourth quarter, instead of 15 minutes, let's say one team has 14 and the other team has 10. And it's the first one to 17 wins the ball game, or the first one to 21 wins the ball game. You don't think that intensity ratchets up? We ain't got no time. There's no 15 minutes. It's just the first one to 21. Okay. Well, you're going to get a whole different ball game. So now...
Okay, why wouldn't it ratchet up if you're down 9 and you're Team LeBron at the end of 3 quarters? I think they could have gone on the same run.
Well, we got 12 minutes. They're going to bull jive around. We still got to entertain the crowd with some alley-oops and everything.
Then the other problem I had was, without a clock, the fourth quarter felt like it was the whole half. It was long. You could have played a half in the time it took to play the fourth quarter because of the foul calls. There were 21 fouls called just in the fourth quarter. There were 14 in the previous 3 quarters.
That credits to the competition, but I think the emphasis on winning a quarter helped a lot.
Okay, that helped the early quarters.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Because when our NBA teams with coaches, when they got few coaches that preach winning quarters.
Right.
And you watch those teams at the beginning of the game, they come out with a whole different energy.
Right.
Because some teams you have to win quarters to win games. And I think that dynamic of it made them play harder from the jump.
Okay, but in the end, it came down to these 5 guys on the floor. LeBron and AD and Kawhi and James Harden and CP3. Well, they're much better than Giannis and Embiid and Siakam and Kemba and Lowry.
All
right?
closers. They all closers.
Okay, well, it's like it's a mismatch, so what happened should have happened.
Well, hey, but Steck, I don't know if you noticed it. Now, you got James Harden. James Harden might be one of the 2 or 3 greatest. We always take, when I say offensive players, I take Wilt out the equation because you got to take him out because it's unfair. But you talk about Jordan, Kobe, James Harden. So you're going to say he's one of the 2 or 3 best offensive players in the history of the game.
Absolutely.
You got Kawhi, who's a Finals MVP. Mm-hmm. You got AD, who's coming along. Chris Paul's an All-NBA player. Down the stretch, who had the ball in the hand?
James.
Go James.
No.
Oh, wait, no, James Harden.
If you look at the game, James started off missing shots, but when it came down to the clutch points, they was giving the ball to James at the end of the game.
Last 3 possessions, who had the ball?
Kawhi and LeBron.
No.
Kawhi and LeBron.
Kawhi got the rebound, kick that thing, go James, do that.
I love to see LeBron, Kawhi, and AD sharing the ball. I mean, that looked real good out there.
Did LeBron close that game?
No,
I don't remember it. I don't remember. Seriously.
Earlier I said, they said free throws, game shouldn't end on the free throw. They did win by 2 because they were up by 1. Mm-hmm. AD just had to make 1 free throw, which ended up winning by 2 points.
Okay.
But because we play on the blacktop, we ain't no running time. We got a set number. You can play 11, 13, or 15. You got to win by 2. Game might take 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And if that game get tied 14-14, it's gonna be a minute.
A whole bunch of fouls. No layups. No layups. And you know what? To talk about the competition, James had a dunk to win the game. The competition was so thick.
He like, I ain't want that.
I might have got fouled, so I'm going past this.
He did. You know what? He walked.
He walked.
He walked. Came down.
He might have got that Kevin McHale on Kurt Rambis.
It would have been a bad foul.
Because he turned that one down. Because in a regular game, James Harden gonna hit that floater.
That's the first thing LeBron said to him. Dunk that. You got to dunk that.
He did. I get your point. A real game would end on a free throw.
Yes.
But this felt like a great, all-time great pickup game between 10 great players who looked like they were by themselves in some gym like at UCLA when you guys play.
Yeah.
And it got heated for what it was just pride. It just felt like they were playing for pride. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why it was so great. But again,
every game should be.
Yeah.
But you see I don't know if you've been paying this close attention, Stack, but I do.
Yeah.
Since they instituted this format where the lady vote getters get to choose the team, do you know what old GOAT James team is? 3-0.
Yeah, because he picks the right players.
The right players.
Now what do you do?
He's picking against Giannis, who seems to have no idea who can play.
He picked against Steph Curry. Giannis is going for an all-world team. He gets Siakam.
LeBron picking to win. Giannis picking people he more like. He like, you know what I'm saying? He like, not basketball-wise, he like personally. LeBron picking teams to win.
Because you heard him say, well, I want somebody to pass me the ball.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't pick Jay. He took Trey and Kimba. LeBron got 2 of the worst defenders. He took Luka and James. But in the All-Star game, Skip, you want guys that can put the ball in the basket.
Listen, when James decides to play defense, he can play defense. Luka, not so much.
And he did last night.
Siakam tried to post him, and Siakam wasn't able to post James Harden.
No.
Because James I ain't losing. They're not going to win this game on my watch because they're going to attack James Harden because they look at him as the weak link of the defenders. You're not going at Kawhi, LeBron, or AD. Chris Paul's an all-defensive point guard. So, James, you the odd man out.
He listening. He hear it.
Siakam tried to post him twice. No.
Put that iron on.
Yeah.
And from a fan
And
perspective,
you see old James
last
had
night
old Embiid
was
locked up.
incredible. As I mentioned,
Until Embiid put a
it was buzzing
green
in that stadium.
No mercy.
Now, Derrick Jones Jr. edged out Aaron Gordon on Saturday in a controversial ending to the dunk contest. But the dunk contest has seen many stars participate, but one big name that has never done it is LeBron James. And Skip, in your career, one of your long-running themes has been that LeBron needs to participate in the dunk contest.
Just one.
Why do you think this is?
This has been a pet peeve of mine since 2005, so I'm not coming late to this party. I'm not using 20/20 hindsight. LeBron owed his billions of fans just one dunk contest. Michael Jordan did 3 dunk contests, and he won 2 of them, so he did lose one. And somehow he didn't lose any reputation because he lost a dunk contest, because most people know it's very subjective judging, and it can happen. I would suggest to you, if LeBron had done one, even if he had done this past Saturday night's dunk contest, he's just going to win because the judges are going to let him win because he deserves to be in one and to win one dunk contest. The excuse I always hear is, he's a power dunker. He's not a contest dunker. And yet, night after night, I watch him, and nearly every night, even at age 35, he pulls off one contest-worthy dunk. He pulled one off last night early in the All-Star game. If we could see the early one last night, this is contest-worthy. This would have gotten him 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. I mean, that's
it wasn't like the one in Houston, the Kobe, the one he did like Kobe to rock the baby.
We've got the reverse windmill. I know, the two-handed. We've got it. Here's LeBron again. Let's see the Kobe dunk, which he said, kind of the spirit of Kobe flowed through him, and he said it happened by accident, and suddenly I realized I pulled off a Kobe dunk. It's exactly the same dunk, same place, same way Kobe did it.
Here it is right here.
When Kobe did it. Here we go.
That was,
that's sweet. Okay. Tell me this wouldn't be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so don't. Okay, so to me, he's trying to protect his reputation from the start because he feared that he would go lose the dunk contest to some 6'4" jump out of the gym kid who didn't even get drafted, like Derrick Jones Jr., and he didn't want to somehow damage his reputation, his marketing reputation. And once it got out of control, once he missed 4 or 5, then he kept saying, okay, I'll do next year's. And then he would back out at the last second, and it just drove me crazy because it's a time-honored tradition that stars do the dunk contest. Kobe did one dunk contest, and he won one. And we know Dr. J did 2, and I can just get Vince Carter did his one. All the superstar leapers or dunkers, they did their 1 or 2, 3 dunk
And when Doc did it in the NBA, he lost to Larry Nance.
He did?
He won the dunk contest in the ABA. And people forget that.
So there's no huge shame in losing a subjectively judged dunk contest. And it just pains me, for the sake of the fans, that he wouldn't have been there, because he set the tone over the last 10 years for stars saying, I don't want any part of that, because all the great dunks have been done. Well, that Kobe reverse windmill, that'll work. You can go do that. That would have worked Saturday night.
Skip, I keep
That ain't gonna work, Skip.
Why not?
With these young kids, what they doing these days, they jumping over 7'2" guys.
Okay.
Yes.
So he can still really get up.
Not at 35.
He can get up.
He can. But Skip, I think in order for you to be a great dunker, it comes from creativity. And when I look at LeBron, he has that one dunk, but can he put 4 creative dunks together, what we're seeing? They're going to a whole different level now. Now, Skip, nobody even dribbles the ball. Everybody's taking it off somebody's head. We saw Blake Griffin, 6, 7 years ago, jump over a car. Take the ball out of somebody's head. See, this is where they're going with it, Skip. And now you got a guy jumping over a 7'5" guy.
Okay, but I'm just saying, even in 05, 06, 07, 08, there was one point in there LeBron should have done.
You know why? Because you keep telling me he looked more like Magic Johnson.
I don't tell you that.
Magic Johnson ain't entered no dunk contest. Kobe was like Jordan.
You keep telling me he's the GOAT.
Yeah, GOAT.
If he's the GOAT, you got to do one dunk contest.
What does GOAT do? They stand on abandoned cars.
They graze.
Yeah.
They graze.
They chill. They do what they want to do. He the GOAT. He chill. Watch it.
I think too, LeBron, on another side, I think he uses those extra days for rest too. I don't think he really cared. That wasn't one of his goals to win a slam dunk contest. Obviously, be one of the greatest to ever play the game. Obviously, to get championships and be at the top in all the stats. I don't think dunk contest was one because, like you said, if he really wanted it, he could have went out and won one if he wanted to.
Okay.
But it would had to be, Skip, if you notice, guys normally participate in the dunk contest within their first 5 years.
Yes.
Once they got past that, Skip, guys ain't gonna be no 29 and 30 actually trying to win the dunk. LeBron is 35.
Well, Dwight did it Saturday night, right?
And Dwight's head was above the rim.
What's he,
but we
33?
looking at like, Dwight, I mean, what you expect to get?
But how many guys that's in the dunk contest the last couple of years are actually leaders on their team? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, not many.
Guys.
And then, to another point, all the great dunkers not even in the, like Zach LaVine is one of the best ever. He should have been in the dunk contest.
But he has done it.
If Gordon wins this one, and now you say, you know what, we're going to put $250,000. We want Zion. We'll have a 3.
That'll help right there. Put
Zion
that money up.
and Tyson.
Put that money up.
$250,000.
Yeah, they'll
Nobody
be there.
else can get into it. Just those 3 guys. Zach LaVine, Zion, and Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to put the defending champ in there. You got to put, he's the defending champ.
But he's the defending champ, but he robbed. Well, we're going to talk about this. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this.
You can't get all 50s and lose.
And lose, thank you.
But nobody even knew who he was outside the dunk contest, right?
You talking about Derrick Jones?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't even get drafted.
Yeah.
And so it's come to this for the dunk contest. It used to be the cavalcade of superstars.
You had Jordan, you had Clyde
Dominique.
Yeah. You had like I said, Dr. J, you had the stars.
The elite.
Okay, and now we don't even know who they are half the time, right?
Is he a starter? Is Derrick Jones, did he start?
He started sometimes, but, you know.
that just goes to show what. Look,
he does a great job for Miami.
Yeah.
He does a great job for Miami.
I mean, he's a great leaper, but all his dunks look the same between the leg tomahawk.
Left hand.
That's it.
Yep.
Did you see that one where Foles threw it off and he caught it?
Man, that's unbelievable.
That's it. You got to end
all his dunks were unbelievable.
Did you ever do a contest?
I could never do it because that's not my game. I'm a finesser. I'm a scorer. I've never been a jumper.
Yeah, no.
I probably dunked on one person my whole career.
You know, they had a dunk contest once upon a time, Alex, at Savannah State. I didn't enter it.
Okay.
Let me tell you what happened. I was just sitting out there chilling. Everybody, ooh.
Where we're at Savannah State?
We're at Savannah State.
Okay.
And everybody oohing and ahhing. So I snuck back to my dorm room, got my little outfit, had my Jordan, the cements. I came back in there. They saw me come down. The steps. Everybody, ooh. They got hype. I brought out 2 guys, put them in chairs, took off.
Wait, they were sitting down?
They were in chairs. Yeah.
Well, that's not exactly.
You took off?
I took off. I got a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, I got to see that.
I'm going to write a picture.
I was about to ask
you have to step on their heads?
No.
To get some elevation?
You got to realize I was almost 50-foot triple jumper, so I had. They call you boy the escalator, because I go real slow. Okay. You know, elevator take you up real fast. That's the escalator. I go slow. And then when you going up, I'm going a little higher.
You have to share that photo.
Was that when you weighed 190?
I'm about 215.
215?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
So you should want your man to have done one dunk contest.
Nah.
You could do a dunk contest.
But Skip, when I look at LeBron is a power dunker. He will dunk on you. And some guys are like Gordon to dunk on you, but he has creativity also.
Yeah.
I don't look at LeBron as a creative dunker.
He's got the highest IQ in all of basketball.
Yeah,
you don't think he could think of 5 dunks?
That means we do a lot of different things. We'll pass, we'll shoot the 3, we'll drive on you. We do all that stuff. But dunking ain't what we do.
You do it every night. You did it last night.
Just one time.
You brought down the house.
We got to get a fan something.
Yeah.
We got to get a fan something. I mean, you pay
some style points.
Yeah, we give you a little something.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about judges across the board.
We got to make, with the judges, that's one thing, too. We got to make sure we don't have actors up there, bro. Candace Parker was great. They all play basketball. But you got actors that probably never dunked in their life.
Let him.
But how can you judge a dunk if you've never dunked?
They messed that up. I think D-Wade was
Show some favoritism?
I think D-Wade was supposed to get a man a 10.
Yeah, and gave him a 9.
And that's how they came up with 3 9s and 2 10s. I think D-Wade, and D-Wade said, but you know, I wasn't the only one that gave him a 9 though. Yeah, but they were anticipating you giving them a 10.
Yeah.
And they were going to be the guy that gave him the 9.
Aha. That could have happened.
I think that's how it was supposed to play out because they said they wanted it to end in a tie.
Yep.
Right.
Well, so LeBron has chickened out his whole career, but that's it. 17 years, it's not going to happen now.
I don't know. Did you notice this? Do you know who has the most starts in NBA history for an All-Star game? I don't even know why I brought that. That ain't even none of my business. Why I bring that up, Stat?
The Kane.
Oh, GOAT. Oh, GOAT. Get what that shit gonna be? 17?
Yeah.
17 years.
Yeah. And this time he gonna come back there as a champ.
Well, Jordan pulled off the most iconic dunk in the history of dunks.
He got robbed. There was another robbery in Chicago.
Robbery.
Dominique got robbed in '88, and Aaron Gordon got robbed in
Not true.
2020.
Not true. He pulled off a dunk that brought down the house.
Yeah, let's go. I had the poster with him going from the free throw lines, and he had it back like,
He's got it right here.
That was unbelievable. He the best to do it.
Stephen, thank you so much for joining us.
No mercy.
Browns defensive lineman Myles Garrett was reinstated by the NFL after an indefinite suspension following his role in a brawl against the Steelers last season. Last week, Garrett reiterated that Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Rudolph used a racial slur which ignited the fight. Rudolph called the acquisition a, quote, bold-faced lie in a tweet, and the NFL released a statement that said no player on either team came forward to say they heard Rudolph say it on the field. So, Shannon, are you surprised that Myles Garrett is still saying this?
I am, Skip. And I want, I want to try to be as fair as I possibly can. Just because no one has come forward and to confirm or corroborate what Myles Garrett has said doesn't mean that he didn't hear it.
Yep.
But it's just hard for me for him to double down, Skip. I wonder, when he went before Commissioner Goodell and he said, the man called me a racial epithet. So this is why I did what I did, and I would do it again. Or did he say, I'm sorry. I was wrong for my behavior, and it was unbecoming of a player in my position in the NFL. And then he gets reinstated, and now he doubles down again.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't get, okay, how? I thought, Skip, the thing is that when you say you apologize, you're sorry for something, like you said, I was wrong. My actions were not what they should have been. I could have seriously hurt someone, and this is something I want, it will never happen again, and I want to move forward from that. You don't double, I just want to get now, Skip. What does he hope? Because what he's telling me, he's not sorry that he did what he did. He's learned absolutely nothing. If we're not careful, we'll find Myles Garrett right back in this situation. Because he's saying the reason why I took the man's helmet off and swung it wasn't because he charged me. Because everybody was saying, well, he charged me, he tried to take my helmet off. No, Myles Garrett didn't mention anything about him charging him or him trying to remove his helmet. He says, I did what I did because he called me the N-word. He called me a dumb N or a dirty N. That's what he said.
I think he said stupid.
Yes. Okay, stupid, my bad, excuse me.
Okay.
Really, Myles, what do you hope by doubling down? Now, you asking for a lawsuit because you're impugning this man's reputation. So maybe that's what Myles Garrett just sued to try to get all the audio you can in the NFL. Now look, Skip, I know everybody doesn't trust the NFL because they don't feel that the NFL is always on the up and up, and I get that. But I just don't understand what Myles Garrett is hoping to accomplish in this situation by doubling down after the fact. If that was the case, why didn't you double down when you were suspended? You could have had an interview with Joseph. I think he did an interview with Joseph, with me and Kimes. He could have called somebody from that network and said, I want to do an interview. And while he's suspended, double down. Don't wait till they reinstate you, and now you want to double down, because what it tells me, Skip, he's learned absolutely nothing. Is that he's not apologetic. He doesn't show contrition for his action because he's saying the reason why I did it is because of what he did.
Okay, good points all. I'm going to say what I always say about that word. That word ending in the hard ER, not the one ending in A, the ending in hard ER, it's simply the most evil word in the English language, and I've said for years, I wish we could eradicate it from our language. And if Mason Rudolph did use that word and put a stupid in front of it, then to me, Myles Garrett had every right to swing on him. With fists or helmet or whatever.
And Skip, that was my thing. I'm like, okay, for him to react the way he did, what did he say? Because we've never seen anybody just react like that.
Conversely, you cannot make a stronger charge against another NFL player than the use of that word against a white player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially one in the leadership position that is quarterback.
Yes.
So Mason Rudolph's reputation and ability to lead a football team is at risk and at stake right now. Over this double down accusation. He didn't let it go. He didn't give it up. He doubled down. You made the point to me the morning after the incident on a Thursday night. We sat here on Friday morning and you said, hey, from your experience in a locker room, if you get called that word in that situation, you're going to go straight into your locker room and you're going to tell black and white players, you're going to say, hey, just so everybody knows, this is what set me off.
Oh, yeah. You go and Skip, this is what happened. They're like, man, Sharpe, what happened? Man, that mofo called me the N-word.
Got it.
That's why I tried to beat his you-know-what.
Okay, it's life. It's what would have happened, and apparently it did not happen because nobody had his back after that game. Baker Mayfield did not have his back on the field in an immediate interview.
Or Skip, and when a situation like that, everybody coming on the field, man, what's going on out here?
Yeah.
Man, he called me.
Okay, there.
Right.
Okay, so Baker would not have doubled down. He would have gone into the locker room and everybody said, Baker, you know what just happened? Oh, and he would have gone to do his post-game interview with the mass media.
Right.
And he would have sang a whole different song in that interview because he would have had his back. It sounded like Freddie Kitchens was starting to go there, like something was said to me that I'm not going to divulge.
Right.
But he, to me, even Freddie would have said, hey, a word got uttered that cannot get uttered, and that's what set my player off. And Freddie would have had his back a little more than he did.
Right.
But nobody within the Cleveland organization had his back.
It's hard for me to believe, Skip, in a situation like that someone in the Pittsburgh organization would have Mason Rudolph's back.
Yeah.
Because we were in a very similar situation in '97, and Romo didn't utter the word, but he spit into it. Bill Romanowski. Ain't nobody had Romo's back.
Hey, that was an incident.
Yes, we called a team meeting and said, you.
Because that was on Monday Night Football, the spitting incident.
Yes, and I didn't see Skip. I'm sitting on the bench. I never stand and watch the game. I'm known to sit at the Jumbotron. And so the reporters are asking me after the game, did you see what happened? I'm like, no, what happened? We got beat. That's what happened.
That was live on Monday Night Football. You could see it happen.
Right.
Okay, we couldn't hear this happen.
Right.
There's no audio that I'm aware of because the NFL said it investigated and could find no proof of this whatsoever.
Right. Like some of the linemen. So you can hear it. So you can hear Omaha, and you can hear all that stuff going on. But it really doesn't record. It's just for ambient, so you can hear the sounds.
Okay. But by the way, back to the Bill Romanowski incident, it galvanized your whole football team, and you led the meeting in which you had to confront him in front of the football team to say, what is going on?
Right.
What's happening?
Skip, and he can't get up there and say, well, he said something to me. That's why I did it. You can't double down if you apologize.
How did Romanowski respond?
He said, he said, I was sorry. He said, I'm wrong, guys. He said, I let you down. I let this organization down. I let my family down. He says,
he spat at J.J. Stokes.
Yeah, spitting J.J. Stokes. And the thing was, and he said it, but I was like, man, Skip, and like I said, it's different being from the South. Yeah. And I'm from rural South Georgia. I ain't from Atlanta's a different, Atlanta, but I'm rural South.
Got it.
So it hit me different.
Absolutely.
And I remember after we all talked, John says, the man basically just got up here, guys. He says, I know it's tough for a lot of you guys, but the man basically got up here on his knees and begged you guys for forgiveness.
Okay.
And we're a team. He was wrong.
Mm-hmm. And guess what happened to your football team?
We didn't lose another game.
Didn't lose another game. Okay? So that can happen.
Yes.
Right?
But Skip, you got to apologize and move on. Mm-hmm. Romo can't come back and Bill can't come back and says, well, he said what he said.
Nope.
And that's why I did what I did. Okay, Myles Garrett, if you apologize, if you want to show contrition, you just says, okay, and I'm done with it. But I don't get what he gets out of rehashing this.
And yet, I don't know. And so at the end of the day, I'm still left here thinking, is it possible it did get uttered? Sure, it's possible. Do we have any proof of it? No, we don't have any. So it comes down to his word against his word.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And we have the quarterback saying it's a bald-faced lie for the second time he's had to defend his reputation.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised that he's saying that. I mean, he would be done in the locker room if he said that.
He'd be done.
Yeah.
He'd be done.
Yeah.
I got it.
Everybody's going to look at you sideways. How Riley Cooper, even though he wasn't a quarterback, how he was able to stay in the locker room after uttering that, I don't know.
Because the next day,
I don't know.
The next day on ESPN, I said, you have to cut that man.
Yeah.
He has to be gone.
Yeah.
And we've had Michael Vick on saying that he regretted leading the group to go to, who was the
Chip
coach?
Kelly.
And Chip Kelly, to go to Chip Kelly and say, Chip, give him a break.
What Chip did is that put Michael in a situation, Skip, because Michael had been given a second chance.
Yep.
So what you do?
Good point.
So what you do is that you put him in a situation where he's been given a second chance, so you understand what it's like to be given a second chance.
Yep. And by the way, Riley Cooper was caught on cell video using the N-word ending in a hard ER in plural, saying of the ushers.
I'll fight all you.
I'll fight all UNs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And guess what?
You should be done.
He got a day of counseling and a contract extension from the Eagles.
Yeah, he was
That's
gone.
what he got.
He was gone for the weekend during training camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then got a contract extension.
Yeah, he did. Way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're left baffled by this.
Right. I just don't, Skip, at this point, I don't get what he gets by doubling down. And if, like I said, if he'd gone to the commissioner and said, Commissioner, he said this, and I know I'm not sorry, I'm going to react this way again. It'd have been very interesting because I was talking to Stacks off camera, Skip. I said,
Stephen Jackson.
I said, now, when you had the situation in the Malice in the Palace, when you went before the commissioner, did you say, hey, they said what they said, they did this, and I'll do it again? Or you said, Commissioner, I was wrong. I'm sorry. That should have never happened. I can assure you it won't happen again. And then when he said, and he admitted he was wrong. You don't double down.
No.
He doubling down for what? So, hopefully he doesn't find himself back in this position again.
Yep.
That's what I hope.
Just for the record, and you brought this up the first time we did this topic the morning after, remember Myles Garrett had been involved in a weird incident in Cleveland?
Well, he said somebody punched him at a traffic light. They wanted to take a picture, and
he rolled down the window to take a selfie, and the guy punched him in the face?
Yeah.
What?
He smiled about that. He told, he put that on social media. He smiled about that.
Okay.
Wow.
It's just such a tough situation. As you said, Skip, his word versus his word, and until there's some evidence.
No.
But I'm trying to figure out when did he utter it? Because it was the lineman was right there trying to get him off.
Yep.
When he was pulling off his helmet?
Yeah.
It's when he first took him to the ground. He was face to face with him on the ground. I assume that's when it would get uttered. And because remember, the game was virtually over.
Right.
He's trying to throw a screen pass, and it was like nobody even blocked Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So he just took him down with a little too much vengeance, maybe. A little overly exertive.
I just hope, hopefully, Myles can put this behind him and move on because it does nothing for him.
Agreed.
Continuously bring this up.
No mercy.
Now, while the Bucks have separated themselves as a clear favorite to win the East, most experts think the Lakers and Clippers have done the same in the West. LeBron and the Lakers have a 5-game lead on Kawhi and the Clippers as they come out of the All-Star break. So, Shannon, the big question, which LA team has the edge down the stretch?
Yeah, I gotta ride with old Gold James, especially after the last time I saw him in action.
Yeah, that's I'm glad you brought that game
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Look, Miss Triple Dub, whole cheating self, because you were just Ben Simmons the night before on a Tuesday.
Yep.
How she get to Denver from Philly that quick? Because she played old Gold James a visit. Did you see that performance, Skip?
I saw every last second of it. I'm about to talk about it.
That virtuoso.
Was it really?
Yeah, I love that. I love that when I saw, 32, 14, and 10, something like that.
Yeah, wow.
32, 14, 11, something like that. Man,
12, I believe.
And all I heard about, year 16, LeBron tweaked his groin. Oh, that injury. Woo! Oh, LeBron, I don't know. Skip Bayless, my grandma told me something when I was young, Alex, and I'm going to repeat verbatim what she said. She said, boy, the tree that's leaning the furthest don't always fall first. You talk about LeBron James in year 17 and his growing, but y'all pretend like Paul George is always healthy. You pretend like Kawhi Leonard and Patrick Beverly is always healthy. You see that old leaning tree, that 17-year, 35-year-old guy, still standing? I keep telling you, Skip Bayless. So now all of a sudden, they just wait until the playoffs. Are we sure they're going to be 100% healthy come playoff time? Because I'm not. I know my Gold James, AD.
Really?
Yeah.
You are guaranteeing complete health of LeBron James in year 17.
All I'm saying, I've seen nothing at this moment that would lead me to believe that I'm going to see anything other than picture-perfect health from those two guys.
He might need 2 weeks off after last night, the fourth quarter.
Well, we ain't playing until Thursday, and we got Memphis.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I like what I saw. You want to see, and they mentioned both AD and LeBron mentioned this, as well as Frank Vogel. You need these kind of games. You want these kind of games. Because the playoffs are going to be like this. The game's going to be tough. You're going to have to win on somebody's opposing court, maybe. I think we're going to have home court throughout. So, but eventually you face Milwaukee or somebody you might have to win on their court. But Skip, with that being said, I love it. Did you see Kawhi? Now, the closer. Skip Bayless tell me Kawhi's a closer. Now, all I know,
I got to correct. I did never say that.
Oh, he's the best.
I said Lou is the closer for that team. I said it from the start.
But did you see the game against the Celtics? Because the best defense, the two-time defensive player of the year, Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart took turns cooking him.
They did.
Cooked him.
You got it. You finally got one right. I give it to you.
And then in the fourth quarter, I'm looking for Kawhi to take this thing over. Ooh, the Finals MVP. 2 for 9, 5 points in the fourth quarter in double overtime.
Yep.
Now,
he had a bad night.
No. On
both ends.
No. I want to hear that. Well,
because what do you mean you
LeBron James is not allowed to have a bad possession. But y'all let Kawhi have a bad night because before Skip Bayless, you told me Kawhi, he's gearing up for the playoffs. And then they blow up my timeline. Man, Kawhi thinking about the All-Star break. Now y'all keep changing it. I want y'all to have that same energy. When LeBron James has an off night, I want you to have that kind of energy that you have for Kawhi. Because you're notorious for it.
And Kawhi's off night, he totaled 31 points. That's pretty good.
And called it L. Or 2 for 9. But see, now I remember, Skip Bayless, they see what you did right there? Now, LeBron James has had 40-point games. If he doesn't close the game, LeBron, why did you close that? That game was right there for the taking.
I'll get to that in just a
well, you
moment.
get to it.
But speaking of this game at Boston against a suddenly hot Celtics team that's going to be tough out in the playoffs because they are cooking all on you.
We'll cool their butt off.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we got 2 cases already.
So what happened at the end of the first overtime in this game? The closer for the Clippers, Lou Williams, has a 3 from the corner, and Gordon Hayward has a foul to give, and he actually hacks him in the act of shooting. There it is, and there's the foul. That is good, and he should be going to the free throw line to take a free throw. No, it was not. No, they called it a 3.
Foot was on the line.
They called it a 3, and he is out of his mind because he could have gone to the free throw line to complete a 4-point play with a free throw to win the basketball game. That is their closer, and it should have been game over right there because he's late with the foul, obviously, and he's going up into the act of shooting. They said, no, we called the foul on the floor.
They did. I saw it.
Sorry, no, game over because Lou is not going to miss that free throw. He is the man with the plan at the end of the game. Now back to your Lakers, and I'm going to give you this about the Clippers before I get to them. Paul George scares me. He cannot stay healthy, and I don't know why. But the hamstring is troubling to me because hamstrings are always troubling, and it will not leave him be.
What's the rule of thumb, Skip Bayless? I always tell you. If you're limping to the season, how you coming up out of it? Limping.
And Pat Bev is starting to scare me because he's limping all the way through the season because every other week he's got something. Yeah, now he's got a groin that is plaguing him.
Oh, well, hello. He got to be at least in year 17, right?
Yeah,
because LeBron James is the only guy that had a groin problem that can split it down for any time. That's what you told me.
Okay, the only way you're going to prevail in the West is if those two stay hurt. Because Kawhi's going to be 1,000% ready. I'm knocking on wood right now because he's going to load manage up to the playoffs. But right now, PG is injury managing, and that's no good. No good. So now we get back to your Lakers. The problem with your Lakers, and I told you this from the start, you got no closer. You got no closer. That game at Denver, that trip dub game, 32-14-12.
Woo! Make a beauty.
Yeah, until you look hard at what happened down the stretch to the greatest driver of the basketball ever, LeBron James. This was the most glaring example of why he is not Michael Jeffrey Jordan. It happened right before your very eyes, and I'm going to demonstrate that because with 2:54 left in the game, LeBron just cruises right by Jeremy Grant for a layup. This is how easy this game was. I think I'll just lay this ball off the glass. Yeah. Guess what? Jokic has got 5 fouls.
What they got to do with me?
So here we go to we're gonna see him miss a jump shot here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just drive
it. And we got a rebound.
He got it back and he missed the bunny and then AD tipped it in. Okay. So then 1:14's left. He drives right by Jokic again. Jokic is not going to defend him. Just drive it. I'm screaming. I'm tweeting. Just drive it.
He did.
And what happens with 44 seconds left? He goes around the horn. Just drive. Go up against Jokic. You know what the problem is? He gives AD a 3 shot. He's scared to go shoot the free throws to ice the game. And then finally, this is the final. Just drive it. Drive it and shoot the free throws. And he shoots a fadeaway that's got no chance.
He had a chance.
At the buzzer. And then we go right out of the gate in the second half. LeBron pulls up and shoots a three, and that hit nothing but backboard. That hit the backboard. That's how bad it was. He was 1 for 7 from three. And finally, he says, oh, maybe I can drive it on Jokic and make a shot. Maybe I should go up hard against him and foul him out. Get him out of the game. And here we go with LeBron again. In the game, King. End it. And he shoots a fadeaway that's got no shot.
He got a shot.
Come on, stop it. And finally, we get AD. If AD made 2 threes in overtime, and they were big-time threes.
And who made the pass?
Oh, come on. Well, he's got the ball in his hand.
Go, Baker.
Yeah, they're really
Making
special.
the right play, yes.
Special passes
Yes.
for three-point shots from your 7-footer. Is
Look
that
at
what
that.
it is?
Oh, look at that right there, Skip.
Yeah.
Run that
Way
back.
to go. If he doesn't make those 2 shots, the GOAT is the GOAT of the game.
Look at this.
Because he's going to get all the blame for not closing the deal. He had Jokic with 5,000. He can't take him to the rack.
AD, that's too good.
Get him out of the game.
AD, that's too good.
So guess what? LeBron was 1 of 4 from the free throw line, and LeBron was running from the free throw line like he always does.
But he hit that and
This
one.
was the classic case. He hit an and one. That was the one the only free throw he made out of 4.
That's okay.
Way to go. He's scared to go shoot the free throws, and they should have lost this game because of it. And Anthony Davis makes 2 threes in overtime that pulls it out of the fire. Way to go, LeBron.
We was plus.
No
plus.
closer.
Plus minus.
No closer.
14.
And I'm not sure about AD, and he was down on himself for missing 1 free throw at Denver, and then he got really down on himself for missing the first free throw last night.
No, he called that when he said he told him, he said, I'm gonna miss this one.
Yeah, that's
that
a bunch
pressure
of
on y'all.
baloney. And
No, why you do that?
You know it. He's got the demons in his head for the last second free throws. I don't trust him either.
I mean, I know Denver, Nikola Jokic. I mean, they call him the Joker.
Yep.
We got the big Joker.
Yeah.
We got the big Joker play for the Lakers.
Yep.
Yes.
Which one you talking about?
Brian, Goat James.
Bron.
Goat James. He's the big Joker.
Sometimes he's just a joke.
No,
drive
he's
the basketball. You got to drive that. You could have ended that game 5 times earlier than he did.
There's nothing like having it in all my. I know everybody out there play. A lot of people play spades. There's nothing like a team needs one more book to not be set, and you got that big Joker in your hand, and there's no way. There is no way they can get that book when you got that big Joker.
There's no way he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot those free throws.
We don't need it.
Like the last possession when he missed the jump shot at the end of regulation. Just drive it and get fouled. Surely he could make 1 of 2 free throws. Nobody can keep him from the rim.
Did you see what he did against Golden State?
Yeah.
He did drive it against Golden State.
Golden State.
And
They're horrible.
They got to do with it.
Yeah, this was a real game. This was number 1 in the West versus number 2 in the West.
And we went on the road and they beat, because the only time they beat us, who didn't play when they came to Staples and beat us, Skip? Who didn't play? Go James.
Yep.
But every time Go James on the court and we played him, what happened? Wow, but misbehaving.
Yep.
Yes.
Right now, I think the Clippers have the psychological edge over LeBron because head-to-head with LeBron on LeBron's team, who was the MVP again last night? Kawhi Leonard.
All I know,
you don't think that will resonate down the stretch?
All I know is Jason Tatum gave it to Kawhi.
He did.
And then
it happened.
And then Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
When you ever seen guys take turns giving it to LeBron? When you ever
I've
seen that?
seen it a lot.
I ain't never seen it.
No mercy. Antonio Brown has been on an apology tour as he tries to get back into the league last week. AB said that he owed the entire NFL an apology. Brown also apologized to former teammate Ben Roethlisberger, who he had taken shots at after leaving the Steelers. In an Instagram post, AB said that he never realized how good he had it with Big Ben and that he let his emotions get the best of him. Shannon, how much of an impact will these apologies really have? Yeah.
Actions matter, because I've seen these apologies before, and when things doesn't go his way, he lashes out again, Skip. What do you mean? You had arguably a top 5 quarterback. What player, playing with a historically great player, does not realize? You didn't think I realized I knew what I had when I had John? You don't think guys realize what they had when they had Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or these great quarterbacks? You don't think Michael Irvin knew? Or Jared Rice when he's playing with Steve and Joe?
Yeah.
Skip, you know. Let me tell you what AB said. Back when he was still with the Steelers. I don't even know if I have to play football if I don't want to. I don't even need the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to prove nothing to anyone. If they want to play, they're going to play by my rules.
Whoa.
He actually believed that. You know why, Skip? Because the Steelers had been playing by his rule. Letting him come late to meetings, letting him come late to practice, acting like a D fool on the sidelines. They were playing by his rules. And then the realization started to come over AB. It's like a hush over the crowd. They ain't playing by my rules.
Nope.
They don't need AB. Because the great receivers, Randy Moss, and the NFL still played. T.O., Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning. Do you realize, AB, that the league's going to go on without you? They don't need you.
Well, I think he's realizing that.
I want to see go more than, I need him to go like 2 months without putting something that he does on social media. And then I want to see real, true contrition. Yeah. Because right now, Skip, see right now, he's like, somebody's getting through to him like, AB, you really need to apologize and you need to sound sincere because the phones ain't ringing like they once were. I don't even know if he has an agent. So now he's starting to sit, the dawn is starting to come over the landscape. He's like, man, ain't nobody calling? Don't nobody want AB services? No, because they tired of your bull jive.
So, to your point, this is all coming across so fake to me. It's so disingenuous. It's so transparent what's going on. He has hit rock bottom.
Yes.
He is now desperate. I assume he's gotten some kind of counseling, maybe out of desperation. And he's being advised, you better start with an apology tour and apologize, start with Ben Roethlisberger and go right down the line.
Juju said, where mine?
Yep, okay. Next. So, in the end, he's still facing, I've lost track, 4 or 5 big legal issues that Commissioner Goodell is going to want to know all about. And it doesn't seem like he's been that forthcoming in his meetings with the commissioners so far.
Correct.
So how far is he from reinstatement? Help me out.
It's probably about as far as I am to returning to play.
Okay, there
That
you
far.
go, that far. So we're only at the start of all this where, the apologies are so weak and so just completely, utterly transparent.
You know what, Skip? Not to cut you off. Had AB gone to the Raiders and say, you know what, guys? The Steelers were a great organization, and there's some things that I could have done a lot differently. And I've learned I'm going to do my very best to be a better player, better person than I was in Pittsburgh for the Raiders. But, I've learned my lesson. There are some things I could have handled differently. I let my emotions get the best of me. You don't wait till you get at the very bottom. Skip, they say, the valleys can teach you lessons that the mountaintop never could. You see, when he was on top, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, AB gave Ben Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin, everybody his butt to kiss. Now, all of a sudden, you not on top. You want to kiss everybody else's butt. You see what?
Yet, I still read, I think it was Saturday in Sunday's New York Post, that AB had a big negotiation with the people at Sirius Radio. He was going to do X number of shows, but they could only ask him about this and not that. And they came to an agreement, and he was supposed to be there at 5:30 p.m., and he winds up posting pictures from the restaurant Tao in New York City that just shamed them and obviously humiliated and greatly antagonized the people, like they're no fans now of Antonio Brown. So is it the same sort of behavior that we've seen repeating again? Okay.
Yes. See, Skip, the moment that, here, let me tell you what AB is a guy like this. The moment he feels you need him, this is what he's going to do. You see, the NFL is just like turn the blind eye. So let me apologize. So let me get back into good graces. See, Sirius reached out to him and like, okay, let's get something done. They need him. He felt that's what they did. They needed him. See, he's that type of guy. The moment he feels you need him, he's going to interact like this.
There we go.
No mercy.
NBA changed the All-Star format this year, which has brought questions about other potential changes. One of those is adding a one-on-one tournament. When asked about the idea, Jazz All-Star Rudy Gobert said it was an idea that fans would love and fully supports the idea. So, Shannon, can you actually see this happening?
No, why is Rudy Gobert talking about a one-on-one competition?
He thinks he could win it.
Rudy Gobert ain't winning, Jack. Skip, no. First of all, you saw what happened in the fourth quarter? Guys are going to take it too serious. Skip, I'm not going to let you win. And so it's going to be too physical. It's going to get too much. It's going to get too heated. Just let it go. No. Skip, you know how it is. Competition. I got to foul you. I'm not going to let you win.
Well, I definitely watch it.
Yeah.
But there is no way that any of these stars would submit to, let's play a whole tournament of one-on-one.
Right.
Because you want to talk about grueling, you want to talk about injury risk, high risk.
Yes.
This would be as high risk during an all-star weekend as you could have.
Yes.
So again.
And what team gonna have their superstar play one-on-one and tweaks an ankle or tweak something like?
No, this is a battle.
Yes.
This is where your pride's on the line and you have nobody. You can't not play defense or you'll just get humiliated.
Right.
So you got to play hard defense.
Exactly.
You got to play hard offense. You got to go at it. It would be great to watch, independent of All-Star Weekend.
Right. It's great in theory, but no.
I mean, if one summer somebody wanted to try to pull it off as a tournament where you offered millions and millions of dollars, maybe. But I can't. I don't know what he's thinking because nobody would, no agent would let their player, and no team would want their team involved.
Yeah, we so high. I mean, think about it. This was a game. I mean, and think about it. All these guys, I mean, your team lose, so what? These guys making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Now it's one-on-one. It's really me versus you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got to go at you.
Yeah.
And I got to make sure you're not getting no easy baskets.
There's no way LeBron would want any part of Kawhi.
Well, there you go. Oh, my goodness.
Because Kawhi would have put it on him.
No, hey, you see with LeBron, 7-2, Joel Embiid tried to post him up.
Really?
LeBron said, you're not going any further, bro.
Joel Embiid put the dream shake on him.
But he didn't lay it up.
That would be so much fun to watch. That's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.